Hello fellow surfers, today we will be learning about how wave patterns work in the ocean. First we will start with the anatomy of a wave, which is the crest, which is the top of the wave, the trough, which is the bottom of the wave, and the amplitude, which is the amount of displacement from the wave's point of rest. The period of a wave is how long a wave takes to complete one cycle of that wave, meaning from where the crest starts until the wave starts to become at rest again. And then the frequency, which is the amount of times a wave goes through a cycle. And the period and frequency are related because the period is just one of those cycles that becomes the frequency of a wave. The relationship between a wave's wavelength and frequency is the shorter the wavelength, the more frequent the waves are going to be, because the waves work. If a wave is short and then it just goes from one wave to another, the wavelength in between each wave is a much shorter, and vice versa. As if the wavelength was much longer, the frequency would be a lot less because the waves travel much further, and then the waves become longer and longer. Then we'll move on to electromagnetic waves versus mechanical waves, where electromagnetic waves can travel through a vacuum by electrically charged particles, while mechanical waves can only move through, they're not able to move through vacuums like electromagnetic waves because they can't be transferred through electrically charged particles. And then those types of waves are either longitudinal or transverse. And the difference between a longitudinal and transverse wave is a longitudinal wave is the particles move parallel to the motion of the wave, while in a transverse wave the particles move perpendicular to the motion of the wave.